There we go. So welcome all. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm super excited to be here as always on a Nuts and Bolts night. This is the one night of the week where we get together and operate on the network marketing industry and see what areas we can look at, shine a torch on, and use to improve together all of our skills and abilities so that we can progress further up the ladder of network marketing. So today I want to talk a little bit about sharpening up your pre-qualification skills. So what do I mean by pre-qualification skills? Well, before you invite somebody, rather than just inviting them off the cuff, that's the fastest way. And in the beginning, that's what we all do. So we can just invite people off the cuff, nothing wrong with that at all. And oftentimes that kind of impromptu invitation is perfect. It works. Somebody knows you, they like you, they trust you, and they're willing to do business with you with just a phone call, right? Hey, listen, Joe, I've seen something. I wanted to come and check it out as well. I'm excited. I think you'll be excited once you understand it too. Can you give me half an hour of your time? Yes, I can. And away you go, right? Let me just do something here. Enable, wait to switch that on. And do that. Okay, good, we're good. So that's like fine. That invitation, nothing wrong with that at all. You call people up and just invite them straight without any priming. However, if you want to have a more fruitful presentation experience, if you want your guest to have a more fruitful presentation experience, then what I've found over the years is that if you prepare them, so look, there's categories of relationships and trust and people, all right? Like I said, if there's no like and trust in place already, you don't need to beat around the bush. You don't need to waste time doing all that. You already know they're a full-time networker. You already know that they're motivated. You know they're hungry. You know they're qualified. You know that they trust you enough to show up on a Zoom and come and have a look. That's not who I'm talking about. But that's a tiny percentage of the contacts that you've got. Maybe 1% of the contacts you've got fit that category, all right? Maybe 2%. The fact of the matter is the vast majority of people you know in your life, friends, family, work colleagues, and people you meet along the journey in your day-to-day living, the vast majority of them are not qualified in any way, shape, or form. And they might come along to a Zoom out of curiosity to take a look. But what's more powerful than that is that they come along to a Zoom, not just out of curiosity to take a look, but out of curiosity to take a look at how can this help them get to where they want to get to. So that's what I mean by pre-qualifying your potential prospect, your guests, all right? And that means that you do a little bit of chit chat before inviting them. And whether that's over a period of time or whether it's 10 minutes before you invite them is up to you. But you want to get their mind tuned in and focused on what do they want. See, if they come to the Zoom with an agenda, with a goal, with an outcome, what do they want? Then it's a different set of ears that show up on the presentation. The curious ears, they're doing you a favor. They're coming along because you've invited them. They're being polite. They're accommodating the relationship. Like I said, there's no like and trust there maybe, and they'll come along because you've invited them, and that's fine. But the person that comes with a self-interest, it's nothing to do with you anymore. It's all about them. They're focused on what's in it for them. All right. So we used to call it back in the day, WIIFM, what's in it for me. All right. That's what they're tuned into. That's the radio station, WIIFM. If you can get them into that place, what's in it for them? So when they come along, they can see, wow, I can actually see how this can allow me to have better holidays. I can see how this can allow me to live in a better environment. I can see how this can allow me to XYZ, whatever that is for them. Pay off my bills, pay off my credit cards, clear my mortgage faster, buy a second property, whatever it is. Every single person is going to be a different place in their life. Get my kids into a better school, buy them more clothes or nicer clothes, or Yeah, like I said, every single person's got their own, if you like, personal agenda, right? Like depending on where they are in life, they've all got a next level. You want to get them to tap into that before they come to a presentation. So I call that pre-qualification, right? Pre-invite. So if you can pre-qualify them, now when they come to the presentation, I'd say more than half of your work is done. If somebody has a personal goal, if somebody has a personal outcome that they're looking for before they come to the Zoom, then the Zoom is a solution to their problem. And you've read it and heard about it 1,000,001 times, no doubt, if you're an entrepreneur, that the wealthiest people in the world solve problems. All right. So as network marketers, we can become problem solvers, find out what people's problems are, what are their challenges, and help them solve it. That's where the fortunes are always sat. The biggest fortunes in the world are solving people's problems. The bigger the problems of theirs you solve, the bigger the fortune you earn. All right. So then it's a case of finding their motivation. The more motivated they are, the more fire in their belly they have, the bigger the desire they have to make the change that they're talking about. So again, qualify the change they're talking about. Everybody talks a good talk. In the spur of the moment, in the heat of the conversation, most people's ego is doing the talking. So they'll go along with it. Does that mean they're committed to the conversation they're having with you? No. Does it mean they're serious about the conversation they're having with you? Not at all. They could just be entertaining the conversation because it's nice to talk it up sometimes. It's nice to dream build with your friend on the phone and talk a good talk. But is there an intention behind the talk? So I qualify the qualification. So I'll ask the question, Maggie, you said that you'd love to travel more often than you do at the moment. You said you go away once a year for a couple of weeks because that's all you can afford to do. But if you had more cash flow, you'd like to travel to more places. Have you thought about what kind of places you want to go to? Where would you go? How important is that to you? Is that just something you're saying because it sounds good? Or have you thought it through? Like, is that what you'd actually do? If you had an extra $5,000 come through this year, have you got other priorities above taking 2 holidays instead of 1? And Maggie might say, actually, yeah, you know what? I've got other priorities. See, they're talking about the holidays because it's a nice thing to talk about and it's an easy thing to talk about. What's not easy to talk about? The overdraft that you've been paying off for the last 3 years and it's not going anywhere. That credit card bill that just seems to be stubborn and never goes down. It's always just hanging around. That loan that you took out to build a garage or whatever it might have been, that's taken you 5 years to pay off and you're still paying it off. See, there's people often do not talk about what's really important to them. So double qualify. When they talk about the fancy stuff, take it with a pinch of salt. People have got deeper problems than the fancy stuff. Oh, I'd buy a new watch or I'd upgrade my car. No, that's all fancy stuff. And if that's where they're at and that is what's really on their agenda next, great. But double qualify it. Like, really? If you had an extra 5 grand, that's what you do? If you had an extra 10 grand, is that what you would do? Let me share some ideas with you. Don't be scared to do that. Let me share some ideas with you. I've attended a few wealth seminars. I've been surrounded by some people that are really like mastering the creation of wealth and financial freedom. And guess what? The number one thing they talk about all the time, all of them, every single time, getting rid of all of your bad debt. Do you know the number of people I know? They've got credit card bills and overdrafts and loans on stuff, and they're paying their car off, and they've got all these really expensive debts. Well, all the wealthy people I know, they say that get rid of that stuff before you go on 2 holidays a year. It's okay to go on 1 holiday a year if that's all you can afford. It's okay to go on 0 holidays a year if you've got debts. Don't go on holiday. Use that money to pay off your debts. What's the point of going on a holiday for 2 weeks, feeling good for 2 weeks and having a shitty 50 years paying off money you can't afford to borrow? Don't go on holiday for 2 years. Clear off those shitty bills that are niggling away all the time. And then manage your finances better and go on holiday every year after that. Why waste money on expensive debts? So dig a little bit deeper. Most people don't like to admit they've got debts. Most people walk around with, Superman uniform or Superwoman, Wonder Woman uniforms on, like they got it all together and everything's perfect. Fact of the matter is, for 95% of people, there's a ton of stuff out there way more important than the things they'll talk about. If you can get them to talk about that stuff, now it's real. Now the presentation becomes real for them. Guess what? It's also a closing conversation. How easy is it for you to close the deal at the end of a presentation when you've got real goals? How slippery is it for them to say, nah, that second holiday wasn't all that big deal for me, actually? Can you see? So get down to the nitty gritty, the real stuff that makes a real difference. They close themselves. Sometimes you just have to remind them of why they came to the presentation. It's not like you're holding it against them. It's not like you're using it against them. You're reminding them of what's important in their life right now, what's urgent in their life right now to take care of, what problems they can solve here with us now. Solve their problems. With the plans that they've got with extra money right now, they're going to stay in the same position because most people's habits got them where they got to. It's the same habits that they'll keep on doing, which keeps them where they are. Become somebody that interrupts people's patterns of behavior, interrupts their habits, helps them to create different patterns of behavior and new habits. Now you made a difference. Now you change the direction of their life. They'll remember you forever when you help them to understand the mechanics of life better. Nobody will remember that you helped them earn enough to make a second holiday in 2023. No, they'll forget that fast. But if you interrupted their life and had a conversation that nobody ever has, and you got real with them and helped them to find out what their real challenges are, what are the real things that they're dealing with, they'll remember you forever. Because most people bury their head in the sand with these things. Most people have a nice pretend life on the outside, looks nice on Instagram, looks nice on Facebook, looks nice on here, there, and everywhere. But you lift the rug or you lift the hood, and they are in deep doo-doo. They can't even afford to pay their coffee. They haven't got a clue where they're going to pay their next rent. This is the harsh reality for most people. Nobody talks about this stuff because nobody creates the space to talk about it. Be the person that can hold that space for people to be open, to be honest, and to, really speak about what's going on. If you can be that person, that's where you change lives. Say, listen, do you know what? You're not alone. And you might have your own story that you want to share around that. I used to be like that. I used to be there, or I'm still there. Doesn't matter. Get related. Either you used to be there or you're going through something similar now and you're dealing with that. But here's the difference. I'm in action about it. And most people aren't. Have that conversation. Do you know what? I got a couple of credit cards I want to kill off as well. I don't know how I got myself into the mess with them, but they're there. And I'm in the process of clearing them up as well. But guess what? I know I've got a plan and I've got a tool, I've got a vehicle, and I know exactly how I'm going to crush that stuff. And I'd love you to come on that journey with me. Let's do it together. Let's win together. Way more powerful conversation than just looking good and keeping up with the Joneses, right? Now, I get that there's different levels of, if you like, confidence required to have those conversations. Not everyone's ready to have those conversations, right? I've been doing this for way too long for me not to have the confidence to have those conversations. But if you're earlier on in the journey, don't fluff it up. Don't have those conversations if you are not comfortable with them yourself, because then they'll feel that you're not comfortable and then they'll get uncomfortable. All right. People follow your lead. So show up at a level that is worth them following you. You with me? So build your confidence, build your competence, build your commitment. Like, guess what? If you really care about people, then that will come through in the conversation easily. It's not about manipulating. It's not about trying to get one over people and all of that nonsense. Like, really take the time to say, do you know what? I want to help you. I want to make a difference. And I've got a vehicle that can help you do that. Do you see? Network marketing is the only vehicle, as many of you have often heard me say, it's the only vehicle I know of in the world where for next to nothing you can get in, and the upside is infinite. There's no limit to what you can pick up on the upside. If you learn the skills and you do the work, there's no limitations on the upside. I've seen people, including myself, have zero money when they started a new project and 7 figures. I've seen tons of people do that over my years, tons of people. It's the only industry that allows us to do that, to come in with a big dream and a big goal, learn some great, solid, lifelong and lifetime skills and crush it. I remember, and look, life is like that. Life is ups and downs. All right. I remember when was it now? 2000. And if my friend is on this Zoom, he'll remember that, Manny. In 2003 or 2004, I was back in a tough financial spot. And as entrepreneurs, we do that. We go through ups and downs in our financial journey. And an opportunity came along. It was just shy of $2,000 to join. And I didn't have the $2,000 to join. And I went halves with my mate Manny. I said, listen, let's go halves. It was actually 1,700 quid. We put in 895 quid each. It was 1695 or something. We put in 895 pounds each into the pot. And we got ourselves into the deal. And we both went on to do 7 figures out of that deal over the next 3 years. How about that? Where else can you do that? Well, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel 1 minute, and 3 years later, you're sitting on 7 figures. Only in this beautiful industry does that happen all the time. Now, don't get it wrong. It doesn't happen to everyone. It happens all the time, but it doesn't happen for everyone. So I got really good at studying in my earlier years in the 90s when I got into network marketing. I started studying successful people. And I was, always for me, it was about bridging the gap. How do I bridge the gap from where I am to where they are? How do I learn the skills where you can multiply instead of add? Right? Most people live in the world of addition and subtraction. If you can get into the world of multiplication, which is what network marketing is all about, 2 people are always better than 1 in this industry. 2 can get 4, can get 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1,024. Do you roll those numbers off the top of do they just roll off of your lips like that or not? Why not? When you get obsessed about something, this stuff becomes second nature. I'm not adding any of that up. I just know the numbers. I've said them that often over the years. It's second nature. I know how the numbers duplicate. Do you know how numbers duplicate? If not, why not? Study the numbers, understand the numbers. And then understand this as well. It's never 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. Never like that, ever. It's higgledy-piggledy. But the concept is that 2 won't get 4, but 1 will get 3 and the other one will get 1. And that's how you end up with 4. So 2 won't get 2 each, but the averages will always average out. Some will get none. Some will get 1, some will get 2, some will get 20, some will get 200. Most people will get none. And 1 or 2 will get 200. The opposite ends of the spectrum. And then somewhere around the middle is where where you can start working with the people that are committed, consistent, focused, and able. And there you'll start seeing people get 3, 4, 5, 10 people in front line and work with those 10 people and find a couple of people that run with them. Usually in network marketing, 2 or 3 people who run with you will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn says it beautifully. If you find 1 great builder under you, you can make a really good income. If you find 2, you can make a fortune. If you find 3, you can earn beyond your wildest ever dreams. And if you find 4 people in 4 different legs, then you're lying to yourself. I love that. 3 legs. If you get 3 legs in a business, in any business, if it's a fair plan and a decent plan, 3 leaders in 3 legs can earn you any amount you want, no limit. But guess what? The more you have along your front line, not all of them are going to be aces. But guess what? If you've got 10 people, you might only have 1 ace, but you might have a couple of kings in there as well. Maybe a couple of queens and a couple of jacks. You'll definitely have a couple of jokers in there. Get ready for those. They always show up, right? But not everyone's going to be an ace. But guess what? The more numbers you have, the more odds you have of finding the aces. If you've got 1 ace out of 10, go get another 10. You might find another ace. And you see how that works. Understand how numbers can work to your favor. Some people get an ace out of 5 because they've got a better quality of contacts, better circle of influence. Maybe they've been in the industry for longer. They've been more consistent for a longer period of time. They speak to 5 and they get 2 aces. That's not normal. Don't expect 2 aces out of 5 if you're brand new. If you're a seasoned networker, getting 2 aces out of 5 is normal. Do you see? But if you're new, you might have to go and recruit 20 or 30 people to find 2 aces. You with me? So know your numbers and then work with those numbers to your advantage. All right? That's all this is about. So pre-qualifying people, understanding what their desires are, what their needs are, what their wants are, separating all of that stuff and finding what's absolutely important for them. And sometimes even urgent for them. I had a friend today message me today. Kalpesh, my dad's in hospital. I've got to pay a bill of XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Can you lend me some money? Happens every day, every single day. Same request, different disguises, if you like, right? And I said to him, I said, listen, I've been showing you and sharing with you about a business opportunity for a couple of months now, telling you that I can help you get ahead financially. And you have ignored my calls to action for 2 months. I can't lend you money. You're not lendable. You are unlendable. You've shown yourself and proven yourself to be incompetent. If anyone is to blame for the situation you're in right now, there's only one person to blame. I had that conversation with him. It's not an easy conversation to have. But I can have that conversation, like I said, because I've been doing this so long, I'm not afraid to have real conversations, right? Most people are. Most people are more interested in beating about the bush and running around in circles and treading on eggshells and pretending, having pretend conversations and being nice and lending money to the wrong people. I've been that mug for many, many years. Lending money to the wrong people. You can't lend money to fix people's problems. That's not helping them fix their problems. That's like putting a plaster over a very deep cut. It's a very temporary illusion of fixing something, but you haven't done anything for them. You just delayed the pain. Now that deep cut's going to get infected because it wasn't dealt with correctly. Do you see? So I'm more interested in showing people how to build the skills, the disciplines, and then work their journey. Everyone has got their own journey. Most people are living in that journey in fear. Fear, lack, scarcity is what drives most people emotionally. The journey of network marketing is about flipping those emotions to the opposites, right? Moving into abundance and freedom and confidence and self-esteem. That's all this is. It's a game of emotions. And not just network marketing. Network marketing is just a brilliant mirror. It shows you where you're at in that game. Life is a game of emotions. How emotionally tuned in are you? How powerful are your emotional muscles? Do you fall apart when life falls apart? Or do you stay together when life falls apart? Because life will fall apart. It always does. That's the nature of life. The nature of life, if there's one thing you want to learn about all of life, from the minute you're born till the minute you die, life always falls apart. If not today, tomorrow. It's an inevitability. Can you imagine if life never fell apart, how boring it would be? Everyone's life's always perfect. It wouldn't work, would it? If everyone's life was always perfect, where's the progress? Where's the growth? The nature of life is challenge. The nature of living is challenge. Challenges are presented, and the better we get solving those challenges, overcoming those challenges, finding solutions to those challenges, the further ahead we get. Think of it like snakes and ladders, all right? The snakes are our challenges, and the ladders are our growth. And if you're not climbing the ladders of growth, you'll always slip back down to ground zero. You'll always be back at the bottom of the board, always. But the nature of, that game teaches us, right? Now, that game is not a game of skill. It's a game of chance. It's got nothing to do with skill. But if you can apply skill to the concept of snakes and ladders, are you with me? So it's not about roll of a dice. It's about the decisions we make, the choices we make, the thoughts we have, the actions we take, the habits we build, the disciplines we implement directly impact whether we're climbing ladders or slipping down snakes. And we will always slip down snakes. That's called life. But the better we get at climbing ladders, the less snakes we will slip down. And we won't always end up at the bottom of the board. We'll end up at the middle of the board and climb up again. Then we'll end up 3/4 of the way up the board and climb up again. And then we'll fall down again, 20% down the board and climb up again. But the name of the game is that progress is being made. There gets a point where you can never go back to that place again. Become that person. Know that you can handle your emotions so well that there are certain dark places that you may have visited that you know so well that they are so familiar, you'll never go there again. Do you see? You can make those decisions up front in advance. When you start working this stuff out, right? Give a very simple example. And I like giving these examples because sometimes people go, but that wasn't even about network marketing, but I learned so much about network marketing. Because all of life teaches you about network marketing, and network marketing teaches you about all of life. You can start connecting all those dots and get integrated with it. But again, not from a place of righteousness, but example. In the worst times of my life, alcohol was my best friend. Now, do you think there might have been a correlation? I wonder. But I know this. Ever since I deleted alcohol, I've never had those worst times of my life. That's fact. Do you see? Now, there might not be any scientific evidence around the correlation, but I know for a fact for me, there's a correlation. Work out your correlations. What are the things you do that when you go there, it's a snake. You're falling down the snake. What are those things? Kill your snakes and build more ladders. I know when I listen to great content, when I have conversations with people about progress and growth and development, then I'm climbing ladders. Do you see that? When are you climbing ladders and when are you slipping down snakes? Recognize the patterns. Recognize your habits. What are your daily behaviors? Which ones are having you grow and climb up? Which ones are having you minimize yourself, diminish yourself, crush yourself, take away from yourself? See, here's one thing for sure. Nobody can take you seriously unless you can take yourself seriously. How can you expect anyone to follow your lead if when they look at your life as an example, it's not worth following? Do you see? So just reflect, self-reflect. Are you the kind of leader that people want to be led by? And look, there's room for all kinds of leaders, by the way. I know leaders, I know tons of, in fact, most leaders have no integrity, live the big life, loads of alcohol and drugs and, prostitution and all of that, whatever vices there might be on the planet. I know leaders are into all of them, 10xing on all of them, and still have followers. But that's the kind of followers they have, right? So again, you can develop a culture. So this talks about culture now. You can develop a culture that's based on whatever values you hold, philosophies you hold. And I'm convinced the reason that I'm able to build networks from scratch all the way to the top every single time without fail is because of that. Not because of Kalpesh is special. No. I know my snakes and I know my ladders. I've worked stuff out. Do you see what I'm saying? So these are formulas. Work out your formulas. Decide who you are up front in advance. Commit to becoming that person and a better version of that person ongoingly. And then you become the, if you like, the North Star of your own life. Once you become the North Star of your own life, you can guide yourself in the direction you want to go in. Guess what? It then becomes easier for other people to see, wow, you know what? You have got your life in order. You have got some order, some management around your life. You've got emotional abilities. You've got skills. They can see it. You're demonstrating it. You're not just talking about it. You're demonstrating it. Do you see? So everything, you know, will emulate in your actions. Actions always speak louder than words. If I want to tell somebody to go and recruit 100 people, I better go and recruit 100 people myself first. Now I have the authority to talk about recruiting 100 people. I can't talk about recruiting 100 people if I don't hit that target myself. So set your targets, right? Your target initially might be 3, 4, 5. The minute you hit a target, create a new one. 10. How do I get to 10? I've never done 10 before. Something magical happens when you do something you've never done before. You realize you're capable of more than you've ever done before. That's why it's important to reevaluate goals, reassess them, recreate them ongoingly. Push yourself. I wonder what the next number is. God, if I did that, what else can I do? Wow. How did I get to 20? I could barely get 5. Now I've got 20 front line. Amazing. My 20 have turned into 100 in the team. I've never done that before. Let me go and brag about it. Now go and tell everybody, listen, guys, I've never done this before. And guess what? I've done this now. That's why it's important to break records, because then you have something to talk about again. You have something fresh to bring to the table. That's growth. It's demonstrating growth, right? So there we go. Covered some good content there. I hope you've pieced some of it together. It's like, I look at these nuts and bolts like a Rubik's Cube, right? We come here and, you know, we kind of just squiggle around and move things around. And hopefully by the end of it, we've ticked a few boxes and it's looking like it's moving into the shape that we want it to move into. Sue, you got your hand up? Go ahead and give us your learnings from today.
Thank you so much, Kalpesh, for an amazing conversation. And it just really resonated with me today. And it's just awesome, isn't it? Like how the universe works. I literally had a conversation with one of my downline today, and she was saying, you know, like I'm inviting people to the Zooms, and then they're just saying it's not for me, you know. And you talked about so many things today in the conversation, you know, around pre-qualifying people, you know, understanding what their needs are. Like, you know, those are some of the things that I kind of do before they come to the presentation. You know, the presentation is just kind of to, you know, just tick a box off, but by then they're already a yes. And, you know, like, and one of the things that I said to her was, actually, what you want to do is like really look at, where are you not showing up with the level of confidence about the opportunity? Like, where are you not 100% believing in it? Where have you got your doubts, your questions, and you're not in integrity with knowing the information that you need to know? Because people can read that, you know, when you talk to them, isn't it? You know, so that was one thing. And she said, and, you know, we talked about loads of other things as well around pre-qualifying, and then, you know, understanding like, why would they want to be part of an opportunity? If somebody comes to a Zoom and says, oh, it's not for me, like, you haven't done the homework as to what is for them, you know? Yeah, so, yeah, so it's really great to kind of listen to her. And then, you know, and she was kind of thinking, she goes, yeah, like, actually my confidence isn't where it needs to be, you know? And it was really good to have her figure it out for herself. Like, that's what was missing for her, you know. But also I wanted to say as well, you know, what you said about you know, really showing up and bringing yourself to the game and the energy and stuff. You know, I've always you know, been one to, you know, if you know, when you want to level up in anything, right, you got to look at who are the people that are already leveled up, right? And what is it that they're doing? Who is it that they're being, and how are they being, you know? And I love it when Sharon's on, you know, like whenever she speaks, she talks about her, you know, her conviction is always there, right? About the token, about the project, about whatever she's talking about, her conviction is there. And, you know, if we can all emulate that kind of conviction in whatever we speak about, you know, it's going to work out, right? Like, you know, that's what works. And, you know, I really want to say thank you to Sharon for just really bringing that power to the game, especially for women out there, you know, in this space who are not used to being in crypto and hustling, right? So it's been really good to kind of over the years see her and, you know, take something from her, right? Like, you know, but you know, it goes for anybody, you know, pick someone in the community that you feel really brings their game on, and, you know, emulate and start modeling how they're being to then create that success for you too. So I just wanted to add that in there. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Sue. Always tons of value listening to you and hearing what you've experienced for the day. And again, this is so important what Sue just said. That conversation happened today. It's funny, isn't it? I even shared about conversation that happened today. Like, some of you have to think back, when's the last time I had a conversation with somebody? That is a flaw. That's a snake, right? Ladders have conversations every day. Snakes have conversations once in a while. Do you see the difference? So brilliant. Consistency is key. Hey, Tom, how we doing, buddy? Welcome. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
You know, it's funny. Two things I got from yours. People really don't want to have an honest conversation with themselves, and I think it begins there. And you know, I have this saying that it's until you start asking the hard questions, you're still gonna get the wrong answers. Until you start asking the right questions, you know, you're not gonna get the right answers. And I think it's important that you say them out loud. But, you know, when you have this saying that I say, success hides itself in simplicity. People think success has to be difficult. You know, I've been sitting here just posting while you've been talking. I did about 17 posts on, you know, private messages just while you've been talking. And I was just thinking, you know, while you're sitting here getting this incredible training and you're getting this motivation and you're speaking to people's souls, why don't I just sit there and click and send private messages while you're on your hour training and say, well, I'm sharpening my sword. I'm going to do 25 invites. You know, you can easily do 25 invites in 45 minutes. And, you know, we know that content creates conversations. Conversations leads to conversions. And so if you're not posting, if you're not generating content, you're not going to have conversations. What's so damn difficult about that? You know, it's just, and the last thing I want to say is I think a lot of people, they try and recruit unsuccessful people. You recruit unsuccessful people, you sell $60 packages. Yeah. You recruit successful people, you sell $800 packages. You know, and how many $60 packages go into an $800 package? You know, I'd rather just do one $800 package and, you know, try and go after successful people, because they have successful networks. And I think that people, not that you don't want to help lift people up, but I think your focus needs to be, if you're going to recruit studs, you know, you got to go after people that are successful. They have successful networks. They pick up the phone, they call their friend and say, hey, sign up for this thing. It's $800. Okay, what do I do next? You know, you call somebody and, you know, for $60 and you're begging them to get in, and they're like, oh, can you do it for me? And, you know, I just think people need to change their, you know, their mindset to say, you know, if I'm going to build $1 million business, why not go after people that know how to create $1 million businesses? And I think that's so important. But definitely, I think you need to say out loud, if you're not where you are, where you want to be right now, you need to say out loud, I am not where I want to be right now, and I want to solve this problem. And what solves that problem is 25 posts a day, 25 outreaches a day. And it's not hard to do with social media. You just got to click a button and you just got to reach out to people. I mean, I friended, like, I went through my list the other day on Facebook, and I saw there was about 50 people that I had, you know, over 50 mutual friends with. I just sent friend requests to them all. They replied back to me. I didn't pitch them. I just said, hey, it's great to connect with you. Look forward to catching up with you, blah, 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 blah. Of course, they're going to see my timeline and they're going to see I'm posting stuff, and they might reach out to me and say, hey, Tom, you know, what's this about? I had one guy do it from Spain. He knew me for a while back, and he goes, what's this new company you got? You know, and so it's just a numbers game, and success hides itself in simplicity. If you think it has to be hard to succeed, what was the saying that said, everybody wants the spice of life, everybody wants the riches of life, but nobody's willing to pay the price of monotony to get it. Posting over and over. You got to be able to pay that price of monotony over and over and over. And Hubert Humphrey said, you got to keep doing it over and over and over until you get the expected result that you're looking for. And I think that's what people need to hear. It's just if you find something that's working, you're going to be doing it over and over and over. I watched Hubert Humphrey build $3 billion companies. And I remember going back to the last one he built. I went to his presentation. It was the same presentation I saw when I was in A.L. Williams 30 years ago. 30
Wow.
years ago, saw the same presentation. And just find what works and keep doing it over and over. It's not difficult. Thanks.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you, Tom. Brilliant nuggets there. Andy, how you doing, bud?
Hi, Cal. Oh,
Hey.
bit difficult lately, as you probably realise. I haven't been on here as much as I should have been. I apologise for that, because I do like the Wednesday powwows and get-togethers. But something I've always realised that I do wrong, and I still have great difficulty in curing it, is that I think everybody should be doing network marketing.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. I'm the same.
Every single person I meet should be doing it. And I do get an awful lot of people that says, no, it's the usual thing. Oh God, it's a bloody pyramid. And I say, yeah, they're lovely and they're in Egypt, you know. But it is quite difficult, really, sometimes, especially, you know, and I'm not complaining, but the fact is I can't get out. I'd like to go to network meetings. I wanted to go up to the franchise exhibition a couple of weeks ago, but I just couldn't find carers to come in. I bought the tickets and everything, but I just couldn't get away. But it's things like that. But still, I'm getting by. I'm managing, and we're getting along, you know. And
One thing, just on that note, Andy, and I'm really glad you brought that up, because the desire is the key, and that's what you've shown, is the desire is there. So it doesn't matter about the circumstances not supporting the desire, but as long as that desire is there, then there's always other ways. So if you can't get, if you can't go over it, go under it. If you can't go under it, go around it. If you can't go around it, go through it. So you can't get to an event, no problem. One thing you can do, like Tom just said, is get better at using the internet.
Yeah.
The best tool, honestly, sir, it's unlimited. You know, get onto LinkedIn, get onto different platforms, and just message people in the same industry.
Yeah, I do. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook very much. I
Yeah.
put bits and pieces, but I've been on LinkedIn, and in fact, I've actually got a number of people that have joined me through going on LinkedIn, and just literally, like Tom just said, chatting away and saying, "How are you?" And you know, you look interested in what you're doing. And
Yeah.
my mate in the Philippines, I met when I was sitting in a car park outside hospital waiting for my wife, and I was doing LinkedIn, sat in the car. So you know, there's all sorts of things come along when.
Exactly. So don't beat yourself up for things you can't do, but rather pat yourself on the back and commend yourself for the things that you do that most people can't be bothered to do. Right?
There's the old thing of little and often. I'm little, but not so often now at the moment.
Yes. Well, maybe you can go into more and not so often if you're not doing the often, right?
Maybe
So
that's what it could be. Yeah.
leverage
Anyway,
around.
thanks for everything you're doing again.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
And,
Thank
I
you,
think
buddy.
I might be seeing you at the end of next month.
Oh, lovely. Look forward to that.
I think
Cheers.
so. Yeah. Okay. Cheers.
All right, thank
Bye.
you. Martin, how you doing, my
Hi.
neighbor?
How are you?
Amazing.
Oh yeah, it's some great stuff tonight, and you know, also from Tom as well. He pops in all the time as our CEO, and he always has, like you said, nuggets. And I just wanted to say about Grandpa Crypto, Andy. I've met Andy here in Dubai. What a fantastic gentleman. You know, he has his reasons why. He wants fun in his life. My father's 92. He's joined databank.me, and he's even doing the steps every day. He's doing 3,000 steps, and he's got a hernia. So there's no excuses. Just stretch a little, do a little bit every day. And like my first mentor in network marketing, he said to me, Martin, do you think you could introduce 10 people? And I looked in the sky. I said, I don't know 10 people. That's what I said to him. I said, all my friends are in the Navy and they're still drunk. I said, I don't know 10 people.
Wow.
He said, well, do you know 2? I said, I know 2. He said, do you think they'll join you? I said, I think they will. This is exciting. He said, we'll do that 5 times and you've got your 10.
Brilliant. Love it.
I thought, oh my God, how simple is that? So
Break it down.
2 nights this week, before you launch the new July 1 compensation plan, I had 2 sleepless nights thinking about the 2x2x2. So when you look in your genealogy, you see lots of people who haven't spent any money yet, but that's okay, because it's all about timing. They've seen something to actually do something to fill that application in. So they've got something on their mind. So they should be easier and warmer in the future, maybe next week, maybe tomorrow. I mean, I had a call from Australia, 5 o'clock the other morning. I haven't even pitched the guy. I just sent him your 13-minute video, and he rang me. He saw me up late, and he said, I want to join now. I said, how much you want to join with? He said, 400. And then he found he only had 356 in his BNB, so he did 150. And I said, your next step, bring in 2 people.
Yeah.
So
Well
that's
done.
what we're going to do.
Nice.
Have fun and find those 2.
That's
Help
it.
those 2 get their 2, and then you get another 2 yourself.
Boom.
Boom.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good to
You too. Cheers, buddy. Dr. Vinod, hey,
Hi, Kalpesh. How are you?
how are we doing? Amazing, amazing. How are you?
Can I say something that we missed you for last 3-4 Thursdays when you didn't do nuts and bolts? So we missed you. And you know, I follow you. So I said, where's Kalpesh? Where is Kalpesh? I said, oh, he's in Dubai enjoying life. Anyway, listen, it was very, very nice and interesting talk that you did today. And I found out one of my snack the last 7-10 days, and that was watching TV. I said, God, you know, I don't drink alcohol, but I think I've been spending 3-4 hours more on TV than I've done before. So I always learn 1 or 2 things from you. And I'm also jealous of Andy because he became Director 5 and he can go to Dubai and I can't go because I'm still Director 4. So I get inspiration from Andy and I know it's not easy to become Director 5 from 4. So I congratulate Andy for that. And I'm going to follow him, you know,
Wow.
as Kalpesh, as how he did it and how I can't do it. But as I said, I found my snack and I'll try and kill that snack tonight and then start thinking and tomorrow people and get going again. So thank you very much. And I also congratulate Sue for being there on top of me to help me and everybody there, Sharon and everybody. They are the great people to work with. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod. And look at that, Grandpa Crypto and Dr. Vinod leading the way. My inspiration for one day when I get there, if I get there, hopefully step 1 is getting there, right? When I get to those beautiful years of my life, that I have the energy, the enthusiasm, the commitment, and all of the fun that you guys have. That is where I want to be. I've got my eyes set on you guys, man. Magnus, go ahead and unmute.
Oh, thank you for the wisdom, everybody. I really appreciate it. And I just want to share something small. You see, earlier on today, I was talking to one of my friends in South Africa who's in a transportation business, and he's like, yeah, you know, just normal random conversations. But I knew I wanted to invite him to the call. And as we were chatting, he said, asking about his business and so on, and it's like, no, I need some money for my business, my transportation business. And I'm like, okay, now, you know, why do you need to raise money through other people? I think there's an opportunity that I can show you. Are you in crypto yet? And no, I'm not in crypto yet. Okay, let's hop in on the call tonight at 9 p.m. and you know, you might even have the chance to list your transportation business. It's like,
Wow.
okay, and there are so many ways that you can actually, there are so many other ways to raise money through this grand platform, which is actually the most legit I've seen in the market. And it's like, I'm in. It's coming on the call. Now, what happened thereafter was that I posted this little conversation with the guys just to show them how to chat up with people. Next thing I knew, one of my my people called me. It's like, no, I want to come on board. Silver, done, just like that.
Wow.
And then 2 others, Prime Plus.
Wow.
You know, that easy. I was like, wow, okay. it really works. Conversation, you know, that's how you identify what people really need, and that can really turn into an opportunity to make great partnerships.
Absolutely amazing, Magnus, and thank you for sharing that here on the nuts and bolts as well. You know, the power of doing those little things.
Thank you.
All
I'm loving
Magnus
it.
demonstrated, all he demonstrated there was the power of planting seeds, sharing your experience as you're having it with people in your team inspires them. Sometimes we're having these little mini conversations, these experiences, but we don't share them, so they can't duplicate, they can't go forward. But the minute he had a conversation with somebody, what did he do? What was the conversation? He solved someone's problem. Someone needed money for their business. They were looking to borrow money for their business. Magnus turned that around. Hey, listen, why does borrowing money for your business have to be the only option? How about creating money for your business? Bang, shows him a presentation, the guy's in, right? Then he shares the story, and that creates 3 extra sales because he shares a story from this sale and create 3 extra. He's using the power of leverage. Sharing creates leverage. I love it. Okwudi, hey, how we doing, buddy?
Yes, I'm all right, Kepash. I'm so glad for this presentation. Yes, I don't know, are we having this every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday, my brother, every Wednesday.
Yes, because somebody like me, I have a lot of leaders already, you know, that need to come in and know their snakes. Yes, and start killing them.
Absolutely.
So yes, I have to make sure I push a lot of them to come and hear what I just heard, because I'm seriously going to change my strategy. Yes, I post online. I have a lot of people, they will come in, but because they are not qualified, I might not know their why. They will just come in, they will take the lease package. I might not even follow up again. I just know that they are in and trying to carry them along on WhatsApp groups. But I think I can get massive results if I can, you know their why and, you know, be on their shoes and now show them what I am doing and bring them to come and see people like you. I think I will get more results by changing down my strategy.
Wow,
so I'm so grateful. I love the training, and I will keep attending and allowing my team to also come and learn. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for coming and sharing. And again, you know, the power of leverage shows up again, right? What did he just say there? That he's going to bring his people to learn from a third party. They're already learning from him anyway, but sometimes you're saying the same thing to your people, but they've heard it so often from you, it no longer has the impact. But when you bring them to an event that's shared by many other people and they hear it in a different environment, bang, something opens up for them. So just keep exposing people to different parts of the journey, to different pieces of the puzzle, and keep unlocking more and more revenue. Again, whatever you're up to, whatever plan you're working, there is a, if you like, a structure to that, right? One of the biggest secrets to, if you like, optimizing your network is to help the people that are in your network to upgrade. That's for nothing. That's the easiest income you will make, is helping people that are already in. You're not trying to sell to them, right? They've already gone past that. They've already bought, but help them to upgrade. So if somebody buys something at this level, help them to get to the next level, whatever that next level is. So either help them to upgrade their level of participation or help them to duplicate. That's all we're ever doing as leaders in network marketing, helping people to upgrade and helping them to duplicate, right? They're upgrading their membership levels, their packages, their product purchases, their services, whatever opportunities there are around what you're doing, help them to upgrade internally, also upgrading their mindset always, and then duplicating, right? So creating momentum in their team. Very simple. It's not much that you have to do in network marketing. It's a few things that you do. If you master them and you do them really well, it's the easiest thing that you ever do. Most of the reasons you don't do them are mental blocks. Work that stuff out. They're your snakes, man. They'll mess you up.
Hampish, it's 8:03.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm always a little bit excited on these trainings. Ladies and gents, it's been another wonderful nuts and bolts. It's been really amazing sharing with you guys. I'm now going to move across to doing an opportunity meeting. So I want to thank all of you that are here. Let me just undo the spotlights, and then we can move into presentation mode. Let me do that. Thank you all that participated and shared. Let me do the